As part of its mandate in catering to the welfare of football players, the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association, the SKNFA, announced on Friday, January 17th, its establishment of a player endowment fund. SKNFA First Vice President Sean White disclosed that the SKNFA is starting the fund with a base contribution of $5,000 for each club in the Premier Division, which can be supplemented with funds from the clubs. He explained that the funds are provided through a portion of the sponsorship from the SKNFA's main sponsor, the National Bank Group of Companies. Mr. White's revelations were made at the SKNFA press conference on Friday, January 17th at the National Bank Group of Companies Technical Center.
So one of the things we really discussed is part of that sponsorship can go into an endowment fund, and that endowment fund would allow the clubs now to pass down to the players a stipend, and only the players, as the president, I think it's just only the players. I don't think the coaches or anybody else. The players, again, I mean, there's 10 clubs in the Premier. It's only the Premier again because National Bank is the Premier sponsor, and we've spoken about them facilitating the fund where the monies will go into a sort of like an escrow account for the clubs, and then the stipends will be paid to the players individually. So it still needs to be developed, but that is one of the most critical things that we discussed yesterday. I think the players will be very, very excited about that.
In response to queries from the media present at Friday's press conference, Mr. White explained that the Player Endowment Fund, for now, will only be for clubs in the Premier Division.
National Bank Group of Companies is the premier sponsor for the Premier League, and it is outside of the remit of the SKNFA to pay players. So we came up with the idea of using the sponsorship money, because this is not money that's coming out from FIFA. This is our sponsorship monies and our partnership to start this fund. I mean, you know, sometimes it takes sponsorship monies and you mingle it with to do logistics and all these other things. But I find that if we focus these payments to these players and start it as a pilot program, because I mean, it's not going to be a very huge fund. I mean, it's a start for the clubs to build on. I mean, the president would have mentioned the revenue sharing. We always talk about commercialization, which is part of club licensing, the jersey sales, your concessions, your donors, your past players. All these can add to that particular fund. So whether it starts from $5,000 or $10,000, I mean, you can start adding to it, and then, you know, we will determine along with the club executives how those monies will be dispensed. So while we would like all the players, I mean, all the players who play football in St. Kitts and Nevis deserve that. I think the incentive to get to the Premier League, I mean, we'll want to start there, and then everything else will trickle down.
Would it be a weekly, a fortnight, a monthly, if you guys already work out that?
Well, we haven't really worked out those details as yet, because, you know, on every roster there's about 25, 30 players. So those are things, those are the intricacies we have to work out. But the actual establishment of the fund is the most critical part, and then we can work out the finer details as to who would get the stipend, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, if you're a substitute. I mean, those are the other things that can come on stream, but the actual establishment of the fund, I think, is an extraordinary accomplishment. And I would like again to thank the St. Kitts and Nevis National Bank for trying to facilitate this particular initiative.
By creating the Player Endowment Fund, the SKNFA, in collaboration with its members, continues to fulfill its mission of supporting players and fostering their development.